Can you imagine how easily you could take a thing?
He made a monumental fuss about it.
Lovely to have you with us.
Nice really great to have you with us.
Now, listen, I want to get this out of the way. First of all, the Grand Tour has one more series to come.
There is one more episode, yeah.
Zimbabwe.
Yeah.
And then that is it?
Yep.
That is it?
That's the end. End of the road, yeah.
Why is it the end?
Because we've been doing it for 136 years. And, yeah. But we'll do the rounds when that comes. It's going to be later this year. It will be formally announced and we'll come and talk about it. But, yeah.
And that is the end of the Musketeers right there. The Hammond.
The three idiots.
Stop.
Well, we actually, it'll be actually a continuation of something that happened to me the other day. Walking down the street in Chiswick. Bloke coming the other way. And I saw he clocked my stupid little brummy face and recognised me. And I was braced and ready for, okay, photograph, whatever. It came up and just, excuse me, yeah, didn't you used to be Richard Hammond?
Oh my God, he did not say that to you.
I didn't know what to say back. I was like, well, yeah,
yes.
I sort of still am, I think.
Do you have a WhatsApp group, the three of you together?
Not a WhatsApp group, but we do communicate with one another.
You haven't got like a little group that it's just for the three of you?
No.
Okay.
No, but we do message one another, of course.
It's going to be the end of an era, though. I mean, it's kind of. Will you miss it? Will you miss working with the guys?
Yeah. Absolutely. But we wanted to end it at a time, place, and in a manner of our choosing, and that's what we've done.
Okay.
But we'll be doing the rounds and talking about that at length.
Yes. Okay. At the time. Yeah.
I think people might be interested. It's kind of a big deal. Yeah.
We have a brand new series of Richard Hammond's Workshop.
Yes.
Coming to Discovery Plus, kicking off in weeks? 26th
of August.
Okay.
Yes.
Now, for those who might not
lands or drops.
Let's get the lingo right. For those of you, those who might not be familiar with the show, just quickly describe what it's all about.
Briefly, me and a mate called Neil, who'd restored my cars for years, he was losing his workshop. I said, that's terrible, because I need you to do my cars, so why don't we set up a little business together? You can spend half the time working on customer cars, half the time working on mine. Then I thought that might make a little TV show, and it did, but then I'm an idiot, and I got carried away. So rather than a little workshop, I rented a massive one, and then I'm trying to turn it into a business. And it is a genuine business. When the cameras aren't rolling, we are restoring cars and trying to make money. It's impossible.
What's the biggest disaster that you've uncovered during filming?
My complete lack of ability as a manager and a businessman.
I thought you were going to say something about a car then, but it's not.
I mean, to be honest, every car. In this series, we were brought a 1939 Rolls-Royce Wraith by the military, RLC. And it turns out this was Field Marshal Montgomery's staff car. It was the first non-sort of armoured car up the beaches after D-Day.
Wow.
And it needed restoring. So we said, we'd love to do that. And he said, well, look, you've got to get it done in time because it is going to be at the 80th commemorations that happened earlier this year. Mm-hmm. So we'll do that, no problem. It's just a bit of paint here and there. Okay. Yeah, a few patches. Got it. Right, on it. We started on it. I come back into the workshop. Neil's taken every single square inch of paint off it.
Oh, no.
To discover that there was rot, bits of metal gone. We had to fabricate the whole of the inner arch. All sorts of bits we had to make. Yeah. And meanwhile, we've got a Brigadier Mike Caldecott. Total shout out, Mikey, for listening. He's absolutely the most patient man you've ever met, but he was not entirely pleased.
He's on the phone going, it's going to be ready, right?
Yeah. And then he arrives at the workshop. It was due to be done in like 2 weeks from where we were, and he arrived and just saw it completely in bits, spread all over the workshop floor. And I've said to the bigwigs at the army, you're going to have this car ready. It's going to be at the 80th D-Day celebrations.
Some pressure right there.
Yeah.
Did you get it done?
You
did? Yeah, of course you did.
And when it comes to old cars, it's not just the TV, because I know that you're very much, you've just been on a bit of a road trip in one.
I have. I've just done a really terrible version of what we do on the TV. Yeah, very briefly. Villa, South France, family, wife, daughters, we were all going down. They wanted to take some girlfriends and sisters and people, and there were going to be 9 women in the villa. They didn't need me. That's the key thing.
It's that way round, isn't it? They didn't need you.
Oh, yeah, I'd have been perfectly comfortable in that particular swimming pool full of estrogen. So I decided I'll stay away. So rather than fly with them, I drove down. But rather than driving a big posh car, I drove a 1963 Opel Kadett, like Oliver. But estate version.
Oh, wow, okay.
It's flat out at 55. So I couldn't go on the auto routes because I'd have been run over. So I went on the little D roads and I spent 5 days on my little own meandering down. But on the way back, I did have to call the guys at the workshop because I took 5 days getting down there. Then due to a slight diary cock-up that I did, I realised I had to rush back and do the same journey in 2 days. It's 1,000 miles in a car that won't do more than 55 miles an hour.
Presumably no aircon.
No, there is.
I wonder why your hair was looking so bouffant this morning.
It's got 4 moving parts. It really has. It broke down, so I spent 3 hours in the car park of a services near Troyes with the car up on. I'd had to jack it up onto its own wheels, using them as axle stands, and then I had to take the exhaust manifold off. Basically a lot of work. 3 hours of work talking to my mechanics at the workshops to make sure I was doing it right to fit a new starter motor.
The thing is, no one's going to take you seriously. They'll think you're filming some kind of prank.
It's Richard Hammond leaving there.
Exactly. People walked past, they were standing off. You could seem thinking, wait a minute, where are the cameras? Any minute now there's going to be an explosion. No, I'm just fixing my car.
Richard Hammond's Workshop, Season 4, which you can catch on Discovery Plus on the 26th of August. Now, earlier on we mentioned your other two pals, James and Jeremy.
The fat one and the fat one.
The fat one and the fat one.
Only a best friend could say that. Yeah, not ours.
You're all doing your own shows now. Are you watching any of their shows?
Yeah, of course.
Really?
You been to Clarkson's farm?
Utter garbage. Yes, I have been to. I've been to Jeremy's. I went to it before it was a TV place. I mean, it's a genuine thing, actually.
Yeah, of course.
So it's not. You know, he does love it. He's an idiot, but he loves it.
You say you watch these other shows. We're going to put that to the test this morning in a round of Who Said What. So basically, we're going to give you a quote, and all you have to do is tell us who said it.
Right.
So, who said, listen, I have absolutely no clue what I'm doing. Was it A, Jeremy on his first tractor lesson, B, James when he tried making flaming crepe Suzette, or you when you entered a car into a prestigious classic car show?
That phrase applies to any one of the three of us.
See what we've done
any given circumstance.
Want to take a guess?
We should all have T-shirts with it on. I'm going to say Jeremy.
Was it Jeremy?
I have absolutely no clue.
Is the right answer. Good start.
He should have that tattoo on his face.
Okay, round two. Who said, I don't like it in the real world? I've had a lovely time in TV world. Was it A, Jeremy, when his cows reject the fence? What? He built them. James, when he goes to Mexico and must cook a complex chuck steak chili? Or was it you when opening your classic car restoration workshop?
I think it was me, actually. That feels like me.
Was it you?
I don't like it in the real world. I've had a lovely time in TV world.
Yeah, it's you.
I had a lovely time in TV, and then I step into the real world. It's hard, isn't it?
It's tricky.
Working for a living, I'm not sure
Being
about
a manager?
this. Yeah. I'm not that grown up.
Okay, well, so far, 2 out of 2. Get this, you got the full set.
Oh, yeah. Do I get anything?
You win absolutely nothing.
Okay, thank you.
The respect from all of us.
That's all that
We
matters.
haven't got any slippers to give him.
No, nothing.
Okay.
Who said when you get them to low, can you imagine how easily you could take a finger off R?
There was also a lot of swearing cut out, though, wasn't there?
Was it A, Jeremy cutting his finger whilst making crisps? B, James cutting his finger when testing his culinary skills, making tamaki rolls? Or you cutting your finger when restoring a classic Mini? There was a lot of
I know Jeremy did cut his finger because he made a monumental fuss about it. But you see, we've had one from Jeremy and one from me. So logic tells me it's probably a certain Mr. May.
You've made a huge mistake thinking there's any kind of logic.
Really? No logic at all.
Really?
You should have gone with your thought.
If you get them too low, look. Can you imagine how easily you could take a thing?
Did you hear the panic in that?
Yeah.
Oh, I love that. Did you see me smile as he went? Just a smile automatically landed. It's reptilian, that response.
Well, I tell you what, we're all going to miss the three of you working together, but we are loving Richard Hammond's Workshop. You can see it 26th of August on Discovery Plus. Richard, thank you so much for coming in this morning.
Thank you,
Thanks for having me. Always a pleasure.
It's an absolute pleasure.
See you guys soon.
This is Heart.